February 10th, 2026, New York City. The Department of Consumer and Worker Protection files a lawsuit, the first it has ever brought against a self-storage company. The defendant runs about 60 locations across the 5 boroughs. The city wants money back for tenants, plus more than $5 million in penalties. Self-storage, metal boxes behind a keypad gate. The business every passive income video calls the most boring, bulletproof idea in America. Cities do not usually sue boring. To understand what the city found, you cannot start in the courtroom. You have to start where every storage story starts, with wanting one. Okay, so you want to own a self-storage facility. You know the plan. Buy land, put up steel buildings, a gate, cameras. People fill the units with couches and boxes and old decisions, and then they do the most profitable thing a customer can do. They never come back. They just pay, every month. Nobody living on site, no inventory that spoils, no toilets. And the strange part is, the boring math checks out. The biggest operators in this industry keep about 68 cents of every storage dollar as operating profit. 68. Landlords dream about that number. But 68 is not the best number in this business. On the same page of the same annual report, there is a quieter product running an 80-cent margin, and it is not rent. The best margin in self-storage is not storage. First, the machine you think you are buying. Extra Space Storage, one of the 2 giants of the industry. 4,281 facilities, 43 states, about 2.9 million individual units. Year-end occupancy in its core portfolio, 92.6%. Steady rooms, steady people, steady checks. That is the landlord story, and it is true. Now look at 2 rows in the same table. Average rent across that portfolio after discounts, $19.91 per square foot per year. New leases signed this year, $13.16. Read those 2 numbers together because the company just put its first mechanism in writing. Across that same portfolio, the average occupied square foot brought in about 51% more rent than the average new lease signed that year. The sign price is for strangers. The real price appears after your boxes are inside. Why does everyone stay? Because leaving an apartment is a life event, but leaving a storage unit is a Saturday. A truck, a friend who owes you a favor, and a decision about every single object you own. The raise in the letter is priced against that Saturday. Year after year the letter comes, the number climbs, and the Saturday never quite arrives. Now go back to the day you moved in. 2 add-ons are placed in front of you at the counter, almost without you noticing. A lock, if you did not bring one, and proof of insurance on your belongings, or, far more simply, the company's own protection plan. Keep the padlock in mind. It comes back at the end of this film. The protection plan is where we go next, because that is the review. Public companies have to show regulators where the money actually comes from, segment by segment, in tables. In this company's tables, storage and insurance are reported separately, so we can put them side by side. Storage operations, $2.9 billion of revenue, $918 million in operating costs, 68 cents of each dollar kept. Tenant reinsurance, $353 million of premiums. Total costs, claims, and everything else together, $69 million. 80.5 cents of every insurance dollar stays. Here is the mechanism in plain words. When you rent the unit, the counter offers you a protection plan for your own belongings. The policy is written by an outside insurer, and then the company's own subsidiary takes on all of the risk and collects the premium. That is what reinsurance means here. The landlord ends up carrying your policy and being paid for it. Of every dollar of premium, about 19.5 cents ever leaves again as claims and costs. The rest, $284 million last year, is profit, stacked on top of the rent. Now the scale of the quiet line. $284 million is more than 1.5 times what this company pays all the people who actually run its storage business. Every site manager, every counter, every facility in 43 states, the entire payroll. The counter out-earns the people standing behind it. And that operating profit on its own was equal to almost 30% of the company's bottom line for the year. Nearly a third, from a form most tenants sign in 90 seconds. And the filing tells you how many signed it. 1.8 million policies, against about 2.9 million units, so roughly 3 out of every 5 rooms in this company carries one. The coverage on those policies adds up to $5.7 billion, and each individual policy is capped at $10,000, which means the thing being insured is not really the couch. It is about $16 a month on average, times 1.8 million people, times 4. To feel how strange that is, take it out of the industry for a moment. You rent out your spare room, and as your tenant signs, you slide a second paper across the kitchen table. Insurance on their boxes, against your roof, carried by you, priced by you, sold at your table. And the second paper quietly earns more than the room does. That is the shape the tables describe. Somewhere in America, a box of Christmas decorations has been insured every month since 2019, against the day somebody finally comes back for it. So the model looks solved. Rent the boxes at 68 cents on the dollar. Sell peace of mind at 80. Let the sign price bring strangers in, and let the letters reprice them once their boxes are inside. The company's plan is technically optional, provided you already have qualifying coverage. The paperwork is signed. The mechanism is disclosed. Boring, legal, brilliant. That is exactly what it looked like, until February, when New York City read the fine print out loud. The lawsuit was not about couches. The city had collected more than 100 complaints since 2023. In its own words, 4 practices across those 60 locations, advertising clean, dry units, while tenants, the city alleges, moved their lives into rooms with pests, moisture, and mold. Bait and switch. Move-in rates raised sharply after arrival, despite, the city says, a written promise of 30 days notice. That is the same gap we just read in the annual report. In the table, it is a spread between 2 rows. At the counter, it is a letter in your mailbox. Junk fees, some of them, according to the complaint, charged after tenants had already ended the contract. And lockouts and auctions of tenants' belongings, in the city's words, without due process. Which brings back the padlock. The lock on a storage door is the one thing in that building the tenant actually owns, bought at the counter, keyed to nobody else. But when the payments stop, the bolt cutter belongs to the facility. The lock you paid for opens nothing once the door stops being yours. There is no footage of the room where pricing letters are decided. No minutes, no memo in the record. There never is. What the record holds is the before, the price on the sign, and the after, 100 complaints in a city file. This film is not going to invent the middle, and here is the part that decides how you read all of it. Look at who else the city was hearing about. In its complaint, the department lists last year's storage complaints by company. CubeSmart, 36. Extra Space, 31. Manhattan Mini Storage, 20. 3 different companies, 3 different owners, one city with more than 300 storage facilities in it. So the complaints were not confined to one operator. They appeared across several of the city's largest storage companies, different owners, facing the same economic incentive on the same. In July, the case settled. $1.7 million, $1 million back to tenants, more than $700,000 in civil penalties. The allegations were resolved without a trial, and the company accepted binding terms. No more drawing customers in with low rates and then raising them excessively. No more filthy units. No more seizing and auctioning belongings without due process. Read that list again, because it is the most useful thing in this film. Everything the city stopped sits on the operating side of the business. Not one line of it touches the margin. Run the machine again with every allegation stripped out. The clean version, the one printed in the annual report, and it still keeps 80 cents of a premium dollar. And the average room inside still drifts far above the price on the sign. Nothing has to break the rules. The rules are the machine. Everything in this film came out of 2 places: annual reports filed with the SEC and the city's own complaint and settlement, read line by line, because that is the only way this stuff shows up. If that is worth having in your feed, subscribe. Now do what this channel does with every story. Put the settlement next to the segment. That insurance segment generated about $778,000 of net operating income every day. The settlement, restitution, and penalties together was $1.7 million. 2 days and about 4 hours. New York City's first enforcement case against a self-storage company cost the machine 2 days and 4 hours of one segment's profit. There is an epilogue. On August 25th, a new local law takes effect. Every self-storage facility in New York City must hold a city license. The city that sued the industry now registers it. And this is not one company's invention. The other giant's filing shows the same silhouette. It's ancillary businesses, insurance, merchandise, and managing other people's stores, cleared $201 million last year, more than it paid every on-site property manager it employs. Across this industry, the counter out-earns the people standing behind it. So, you wanted to own a self-storage facility. You still can. The boxes will pay you like real estate, steadily, quietly, for years. But the filings put the real business in writing a long time ago. The rooms bring people in. The counter, the policy, the letters, the fees is where the margin lives. Storage sells the feeling that your things are safe and waiting, and it charges by the month for that feeling. In this business, the tenants come and go. The margin has a lifetime lease. The documents behind this film, the segment tables, the city's complaint, the settlement, are in the telegram, linked below. One question for the comments. At that counter, would you buy the $16 plan, yes or no? And if you want a business that stayed small and won anyway, the car wash that quietly became a $5 million subscription machine is on your screen right now.